Alright guys, so I've decided I'm going to do the washing episode in line or together with the Decon episode, because I'm not going to clear this car anyway, so it would be such a shame to just do an episode of doing a tar removal and an iron removal. So you're going to see it all together, and we're going to give this, the plan for this is we're going to give it a stronger than standard wash. So what that basically means, we're going to use a stronger citrus, a stronger foam dilution, and then we're going to obviously do the usual contact wash, hit it with a tar and hit it with an iron, and hopefully, and then rewash it, but I'll probably rewash that second time off camera. And hopefully that will remove up to 99%. We're going to obviously use a drying aid as the alcohol, which has probably never been done before. I've never seen it done before. So we're going to dry the vehicle with alcohol, which will kill even more protection. And then we're going to obviously keep wiping it with alcohol to try and remove everything off the panels. So obviously a nice thorough rinse. Again, still with a new fantastic little nozzle assembly. Let's see how this does. But so far, there's been no leaks. So obviously, as you can see, it's not leaking or anything, which is nice. So obviously the goal of the initial pressure rinse will never remove everything. That's the whole point. We're going to work this all the way up to 100% and try and get as much of the contaminants off, and the dirt obviously, because the car's dirty, in preparation for the, as I call it, the pretty steps. In typical fashion, the sun's starting to peek out. I wish it stayed overcast. But every time I seem to wash these cars, especially with a bloody finicky finish like this, the sun starts to come. Sod's law. So this is my exterior 1 litre Prezol, as you see there, and we use this. So basically we have a Prezol for pretty much anything or everything, but this specific one, just so we don't get confused, obviously the wheel one has got different dilutions, this one's got different dilutions. So this is a strip wash version, and this has got 3-to-1 citrus, so quite strong. But then again, I'm doing this for a reason, and I'm going to try and get it all over the place. See, it seems to me when I don't do series like this, I always think, oh, I haven't done one in a while, I need to think about doing one. But when I do it, like I am now in my head, I was just thinking in there, I thought, has it come around that quick? So I can't win. Again, it's a shame you can't polish the car, because obviously polishing is the true way of getting rid of anything. And again, matte paint has its benefits and it has its drawbacks. Obviously, one of the drawbacks to me is I can't actually polish this thing and make it look shiny, but that's one of the reasons we bought it, you know, just to give it that different depth of view effect. But I'm hoping with the product that we put on this last, be very curious to actually show you guys, because it's something new for me in the range, or new in the development anyway. But this should take off a lot of stuff. Obviously in the foam cannon, I've put about 200 mil of water, 200 mil of foam and about 600 mil of water. So just to make it even stronger than usual. And now we'll obviously, because now the sun's starting to peek out, it's going to hopefully kind of allow the citrus and the foam to kind of dwell together for as long as possible. Now, it's almost November, but when the sun peeks out, it's still quite warm. So I've got to be obviously wary of not the ambient temperature, because like I said, it's about 10, well, probably about 11, 12 degrees now. But it's just the panel temperatures actually hold a lot more heat, and they disperse heat a lot slower as well. So for example, if the cloud was to come over, the temperature would change pretty much instantly, whereas the panels would take probably a little bit longer to kind of dissipate the actual heat and stuff. So hopefully we can counteract it as best as we can. Now these Prezols are amazing. Have I told you how amazing they are? It's absolutely, in fact, I'm going to put it on a tighter spray pattern. There we go. And get more liquid down a lot quicker. Now, I've been doing this for years, but you know, if you do the petrol cap and its contents, whatever's inside, if you do that every week during your maintenance wash, it's actually easier for you to maintain it. So it's never like, you've seen those detailers who do the disaster details and they're just so grotty and stuff. Hopefully yours will never get to that level. Dirt is dirt, guys. Obviously there's a high concentration of dirt at the lower parts of the car, but you can scratch a panel pretty much anyway, top, bottom. So especially on this car, if you scratch this properly, you cannot repair it. They can't do spot repairs like they do on cars even. You have to do the whole respray job with this, which is quite costly. Trust me, I know. And in fact, I'll tell you how much. So basically, when we picked this up, one of the detailers wiped the mark there. There was already a scratch, which I kind of knew about, but when we picked it up, the marks that I'm talking about, so the shiny spot here and a couple there, were never there. I think it cost $720, so yes, 600 plus VAT for a bonnet. So imagine if you have to do multiple panels, it can quite easily rack up into the thousands. Those window wipers prepped again. It's another step to Decon. The window wipers ready for the Glass Plus application. The more crap I can get rid of it now, or kind of grease and stuff like that, then the better. Well, there you go. There's a litre, pretty much. Obviously, because I always make a new bottle every time I do a car, I'm gonna get rid of the rest. Right, it's time to go and foam this baby. Right, so SGS 28 Ultimate version, PF22. I've got my, again, as I said, on all of mine now. I've got the new 1/4-inch plug in testing, seeing how it works, how it snaps on. But the snap on this is, whoop, without foam in the car, super nice. Look at that, on, off. You don't have to push them forward, which is where the premium kind of category fitness comes into. But yeah, it's got 200ml foam and 600ml water just to give it that extra bite. Who doesn't love a good foam? Woo. All right, so the traditional, the water's cold. The traditional 2-bucket method, as always. I'll be very curious to actually see how much contamination's on this car, because again, I've kept this car in its natural state. Obviously, I've washed the car and stuff, but as you know, contaminants actually can't get washed away, or embedded contaminants, let's say. So I'll be very curious just to see how much tar, iron. There'll be probably more iron than tar on this, but still, nonetheless, I'll be very curious. While I'm washing though, what I will mention is what you're going to see during the decon stages is obviously we're going to use the wheels for the iron, but you're going to see one of our latest variants. Basically, it's good enough to actually show you guys, because the first few attempts I wasn't really happy with it. So you're going to see the first good workable or work in progress bottle of our tar remover. Now, the reason why I'm showing you on this car is because a lot of tar removers that are currently on the market can't be used on matte paint. They're too aggressive. So I'm developing something in conjunction with normal paint and more sensitive finishes, wraps, all that sort of stuff. So I've made something that one smells absolutely beautiful, and as you know, 99% of tar removers smell absolutely horrific. So smells nice, looks nice. Again, that's really irrelevant in the process of like how a tar remover looks. It's how it performs. So I've been doing a bit of testing on really bad cars. Unfortunately, I don't have cars that get that bad that you can see like a true test on the removal of tar. So the bad cars have already had it, it's been there, it's done it. Now let's see how it reacts on whatever tar level is on here and exactly what it does with this matte paint job. Oh, almost dropped it. I mean, what can go wrong, eh? Matte paint, tar remover, that's not yet. I mean, the specs on it look like it's just perfect for it. We've took some of the traditional raw materials out and we've added some non-traditional ones. So basically it's a gentler, basically clean, a more gentler breakdown of tar without just giving the car or the clear coat in essence a chemical bath, because going full crazy on something obviously works, but is it the safest? Obviously we're talking about the preservation of paintwork here, and God knows how long I keep this car, but still, whether it's during my ownership, the future ownership of whichever owner has this, I want to keep the integrity of the paintwork as best I can. This is why the whole full spray it, send it, let's go kind of, that's where, you know, all my products are along that way inclined, because at the end of the day, how slick that is. Beautiful. Oh yes. Is it gonna make it? Oh, it's gonna make it. Too good. So at the end of the day, I've seen this case so many a time, people just using chemicals in products that aren't built for a certain application, but they are strong, like really deadly strong. And because people like see the car once or twice, they're like, it's gonna do, you know, it's what the customer's paid for, and they absolutely wreck the clear coat. I've seen some cases of staining, like people obviously don't know how to read the raw material sheets and stuff. It says tar remover, so it removes tar, right? Well, yes and no. There could be a lot of byproducts which are very harmful. So yeah, that's the plan. I thought I'll reveal it now while I'm washing the car, so I don't have to take up the time talking about it when it comes down to the business end of it. I still love the feel of washing a matte painted car. It's like, there's just something about it. And it's not technically fully protected, so just wait until it's like really, really slick. It's gonna be unreal. Luckily for me, the sun's gone in. It just started to, well, not now, it stopped, but it was just starting to drizzle. So I thought, right, I've just been sweating and now I'm freezing again, and now it's raining. Yeah, I thought, oh God, I hope I can film this segment. So I'm really looking forward to this test. Obviously, it's the gentle exfoliation of a product that can't be washed away. It needs to be kind of let kind of soften, and then you kind of wipe it away. That's if we pick anything up on this. Obviously, iron will also be interesting, because the main facilitator of fallout on the side, I say the main, but like the major contributing factor is the front brakes, kicking up all the brake dust. And obviously this has got carbon ceramics, so there's going to be nothing involved in that area, but then obviously the ambient fallout, which is always flying around unbeknown to people, so it'll be very interesting. So this little mini season, you've seen a lot of reveals. And a few more to come, but still, the most I've ever revealed in one sitting. So let's see how people react to it. Comments, obviously. Very curious on people's feedback always. Most of the feedback is kind of, I'm just going off an analytic here, you know. When people give me feedback, it's on like stupid things. And I just think, oh, you should develop this. No, I shouldn't. And it's always the cheapest little detailing hacky things, which I just think there's already about 57,000 booksy resellers doing it. So I'm not going to, one, become another one. And two, this said thing, whatever it may be, just happens not to work. So please, just feed me back on what I've shown you. So obviously the last area underneath here. And the last area I just want to make sure is in the fuel cap. I always do this because this is going straight in the washing machine anyway on my standard 1.5 hour wash. Just while the contamination's kind of fresh in the pad and it doesn't get time to set, it'll come out, but still look, cleaned it. I picked up obviously, where is it? Just a little bit off the bottom of the kind of the rear diffuser and stuff. So I've rinsed this out though still. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again rinse this off camera. You've seen me rinse shampoo off a million times. So I'm not going to bore you with the details. And then we'll go directly into the chemical decon. No mechanical decons today. And I have just absolutely got my shoes wet. Can this get any better? All right, so the moment of truth. This is the product in question. Beautiful color. Reminds me a bit of the glass cleaner. So let's have a look first. So I'm going to do this panel by panel. Normally I wouldn't do it because I want to see exactly what it's doing. You don't want to be going around the whole car spraying. Oh yes, baby, look at that. Instant. In fact, let me spray the whole side down and I will return to that bit. So I found one bit already. And then I can obviously rinse the whole car down. Whacked. Has it dissolved already? No, yeah, well, most of it's gone. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not negligible enough to actually show the camera. A little bit of brown. I don't know if the camera's even going to pick that up. But there's enough, so that flashed it fairly quickly. Again, this is a gentle version. Strong yet gentle. I'm going to be using that word. Smells beautiful. As I said, it looks beautiful, smells beautiful. So I'm going to obviously pre-saturate the towel a little bit more. I'm not seeing anything about that one spot, so, but just in case there's any glue adhesive. I know they de-peeled the decals from the edition 1. In fact, is that a bit of tar? What is that on the plastic? Yeah, ooh, embedded tar in the plastic. You don't see that very often. Very interesting. Well, one of them is. The other stuff is not going, so I wonder. Yeah, that's definitely not tar. One of them is. But anyway, I know they de-peeled. Yeah, look, I'm starting to obviously now change the color of the towel. It may be hard to see, but I know they de-peeled the decals off the car, so maybe this will get rid of the residue. That's what it's picking up. I don't know if you're going to. I'm going to show you around the shadow, but I know they've de-peeled the decals. That's what I was trying to say. So I know there's going to be a little bit, potentially a bit of adhesive. left in the lower panels, a little bit on the wing mirrors as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this step by step. Normally I would do the whole car in one go and rinse it, but I flipped over to the shotgun configuration and we're just going to do it like that. Realistically, if anything's going to flash, it's going to be the rear bumper. Let's have a look. Quite a fast reacting one, so it's good. You can see it pretty much instantly, if there is anything anyway. I'll start to eat it up. I'm going to wipe it over anyway, because so basically, if you know the Edition 1 Mercedes, they've got kind of these yellow decals down the side, the pinstripe on the wheels, which obviously we had redone, and on the wing mirrors. So in the right light, you can actually still see a bit of an outline, but that's just because of the kind of the color fade. Oh, that got into my eyes. Because of the color fade over time. Yeah, nothing. So pre-saturate the towel, just give it a wipe. Well, I can't show you the findings. All I know, it's not marking the car in terms of, obviously nothing's been stained, which is good. Still a wipe over. This will obviously help to decon a little bit more, kind of protection, start removing more percentages. It's a good habit to get into. Obviously I'm hitting all the plastics as well, because tar won't be as visible against black plastic. So I'm just being thorough. So it's so important to rinse it off as best as you can. Obviously I'm going to re-wash it, one bucket method because the car's clean, to kind of neutralize any of the solvents. So if anybody's interested at the difference, that's what I was picking up. So it's definitely a few, like on black plastics. There's the clean side, there's the dirty side. So there, look, bang, bang. So there's something on the car, it's just I can't give it that full visual effect of seeing, oh look, there's a big blob of tar. Well, as I said, if anything's gonna go, it's gonna go on this bumper. So my deduction is there is zero or very minimal tar on this car. I only saw one bit bleeding brown, which is a shame because I really wanted to see how quickly. In fact, hold on. There's a little bit here, but it's the size of a pinprick. So again, my point still stands. Let's have a look. Well, it's been on here for what, 60 seconds? Nice. 2 swipes. Can't complain. Obviously the car isn't, I knew the car wasn't going to be the worst car on the planet. That's kind of the whole reason behind it. But still, more testing to continue. I really actually, obviously I know the tar removal capability of this already, hence the other test cars. But I just wanted to see how it plays with kind of matte stuff. So far it plays well. So let's have a look. That little piece of tar picked up. You see the difference, and then basically that's what something like this looks like. So while we're at this amazing angle, obviously you've got the wheels there in the Prezol. See, you know, sometimes I think, you know, these triggers, you know, yeah, they're unbelievable, blah blah blah, and then, you know, when you don't use it, obviously I use the tar with a normal trigger, you go back to one of these and you're like, yeah, as good as our triggers are from Italy, obviously, it will not beat something like this. Right, come on, baby. You know what, I shouldn't be complaining that there's no contamination. Instead, I'm moaning about it. Now, if you want to see some bleeding action, look at that. Here we go, it's starting to really flash. So it's picking up a lot of contaminants. Got all that pool in there. Now, for the sake of being thorough, what I'm going to do is I'm taking another plush towel and I'm literally just working it in. So basically, I'm just giving it a wipe. And that means, you know, if there's anything like a bigger piece that could potentially be stubborn, I doubt there's any huge pieces on here. But if there is, this will just gently lift it away. And it's foaming really nice. I know the camera's not gonna, but there, just look at that rear. Lovely, and that's obviously the wheel cleaning agents. starting to obviously foam up under agitation. That's what you want. So it's actually going to act like a real good strip wash. So look at that. Oh my god, looks like I've killed someone. As I said, the ambient fallout will always exist no matter what braking system you have. But if you've got normal steel brakes, which 99% of people have, this should, obviously on a normal car like a white car, should flash up really aggressively. Yeah, good. So we're getting somewhere now. So I'm just gonna preempt, because I know the sun's beating down now. I'm gonna preempt it. Just give it an agitation. By the way, after we do the iron step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously off camera, let's hit the windows as well. Off camera, I'm going to quickly wash the car, because obviously I'm just giving it a quick rinse so it doesn't bake on the car. But still, I want to neutralize it properly. My hands have taken a beating today with product. But I love this. I love these steps, especially when it's for your own car. You know that it's going to get looked after properly. It's all the work I put into it. Well, because I'm doing the work, I know exactly what kind of happens next. So I won't be taking this to no stupid car washes or anything like that. And I know to most normal people this seems very excessive, all this upfront work, but trust me, if you do it once, you do it right, and you start talking about coating systems, then trust me, it's worth it, because it's going to actually prepare the surface so well. Because if you start missing steps and then you start wondering, I need to refill this, and you start wondering, well, why isn't my wax, for example, lasting X amount, or why isn't my sealant, spray wax, whatever, spray coating not lasting as long as it should? Well, because instead of trying to put some work in, you've decided to potentially skip a few steps. Now again, if you remember the Mustang correction series that I did, can you remember first one and then the second one towards the tail end? Well, in fact, the first one wasn't really a correction series, it was more of like a maintenance series. But I did a full decon step, clay, everything. And then when I did the correction, one, we couldn't find any tar, any iron. There was definitely no kind of clay contaminants that clay could kind of take care of. And that was because what you see that I'm doing now, but in the future, I'm going to even skip the towel method. I'm going to do a touchless decon. And I do that probably every 3 months. I don't touch the car, just spray it on, let it do its business, and then I keep moving, and that way you actually keep the contaminants down. So the home stretch, I've got that side of the car to do the front clip, and I'm done. So I'm just refilling. I never had a full one anyway. I don't know why I didn't just fill it up at the start. It's called Man Bad Admin, or Male Bad Admin. See, I'm not even filling it full even now. Now if you look at the bonnet, it's completely flat. We're starting to get there. As I said, 1%, 2%, 10%, 5% here and there. You start to kind of figure out and build out the full picture, which is what you want to do. I've done that many trigger pulls today, I'm starting to feel tired. My age must be catching up to me. So again, in my opinion, there's no, well, it's not an opinion, in my situation, there's no need to rush to do this job now, what I'm doing, because I've used deionized water. So again, I think about a month-old resin, so it's like literally brand new. So there's going to be no spotting. I can technically let the car dry naturally, but as I said, I just want to touch the car a few more times with the right products, just to make sure it's ready for the next step. This will be the easiest car I'll ever do. I mean, I may touch up the wing mirrors, because the wing mirrors are actually gloss black. So that's the only stupid thing I can polish. So I'll probably touch them up, and I'll actually put another development product on them, and then that way the whole kind of exterior painted surfaces, matte or gloss, will have a development product on. And that way I will never get confused, and I'll literally see exactly how it's performing. So it's quite a good test car, this. Not the usual test car, because I don't mind a bit of polishing now and again. But I think sometimes it breaks me, you know, if the car's really bad. But in this case, I think it's technically this should be a 2-day job for me. It'll probably take longer because I'm going to be messing around with other things.